now we want to switch to how we can determine the CDF or the cumulative distribution function. It's called cumulative distribution function or the cumulative mass function. There is a difference between a PDF and a CDF. So all that we discussed before can be generated using the PDF. We can generate the mean using the PDF. We can generate the median using a PDF. We can generate the mode using a PDF. The variance interval, whose capital F of x is at least a half, becomes the median interval. And once you spot it, then you can substitute in m in the function that is defined for that interval, and then you get the value of m, which will be the median. Now, just like the PDF, also the CDF can be used to get the values of some unknowns. So if you're given a CDF